An airplane needs a runway. A helicopter needs a patch of ground the size of a tennis court. It rises straight up, hangs motionless in the air, slides sideways, and sets down on a rooftop. No runway, no forward speed. Just a machine beating the air into holding it up. Today we slice one open and find out how a helicopter flies, one spinning part at a time. Look at a rotor blade up close and you will recognize it. It is a wing. Long, thin, gently curved on top, the same shape that holds an airliner in the sky. A wing only makes lift when air flows over it. An airplane gets that flow by racing down a runway. A helicopter cheats. It spins its wings in a circle, so they are always moving fast, even while the aircraft itself sits perfectly still. Under the cowling sits a turbine engine, a small jet, spinning at tens of thousands of revolutions per minute. The rotor cannot turn that fast. If it did, the blade tips would break the sound barrier and the lift would tear itself apart. So between engine and rotor sits a transmission, a stack of precision gears that trade speed for force. It slows the shaft to a few hundred turns per minute and multiplies its twisting power. The rotor turns slow, heavy, and unstoppable. Here is the key idea of the whole machine. A blade's lift depends on its angle, how steeply it bites into the air. Tilt the blade's leading edge up a few degrees and it grabs more air, making more lift. Flatten it out and the lift fades away. The blades spin at a constant speed. The pilot never revs them up and down to climb. Instead, every control in the cockpit does exactly one thing. It changes the angle of the blades. In the pilot's left hand is a lever called the collective. Pull it up and every blade tilts to a steeper angle at the same moment. Collectively, all of them bite harder. Lift swells across the whole rotor and the helicopter rises straight up. Lower the lever and the blades flatten, the lift fades and the machine settles back down. It is the simplest control on board. One lever, one job. More angle, more lift. Up and down. The stick in the pilot's right hand is the CYCLIC, and it does something stranger. It changes each blade's angle in a cycle, steeper on one side of the circle, flatter on the other. Say the blades bite hard at the back of the disc and ease off at the front. The back of the spinning disc lifts and the disc tilts forward. Now part of the rotor's thrust points ahead and the whole helicopter slides that way. Tilt the disc in any direction and you fly in that direction. But how do you adjust blades that are spinning 500 times a minute? You cannot grab them. The answer is the Swashplate, 2 rings stacked around the rotor shaft. The lower ring does not spin. The pilot's controls tilt it and raise it. The upper ring rides on top of it on a bearing, spinning with the rotor, linked to each blade by a thin rod. Whatever shape the still ring takes, the spinning ring copies, and the blades follow, adjusting their angle on every single revolution. There is a catch, and it is Newton's third law. The engine twists the rotor one way, so the rotor twists the body of the helicopter the other way. Cut the tail off a helicopter and the cabin would spin like a top beneath its own blades, faster and faster, until the pilot lost control. Every helicopter has to push back against its own engine every second it runs. The fix is mounted at the far end of that long tail boom. The tail rotor is a small propeller mounted sideways. It does not lift anything. It pushes the tail to the side exactly hard enough to cancel the body's spin. The pilot's feet rest on 2 pedals that change the tail rotor's bite. Press the left pedal and the nose swings left. Press the right and it swings right. With the pedals, a pilot can hold a heading in a crosswind, or pirouette the entire aircraft on the spot. Hovering looks like rest. It is the opposite. Lift must exactly equal weight. The tail must exactly cancel the torque. Every gust tips the disc, and the pilot answers with the cyclic before the drift even shows. Collective cyclic pedals, all 3 moving at once, in tiny corrections, several times a second. Pilots say hovering feels like standing on a basketball. The machine is never truly still. It is balancing, continuously, on a column of moving air. Here is the part that surprises people. A helicopter can land safely with a dead engine. The trick is called auto-rotation. The pilot drops the collective, flattening the blades, and the helicopter begins to descend. Now air flows up through the rotor and spins it, like wind driving a pinwheel. The blades store that spin as energy. Near the ground, the pilot pulls the collective hard, the blades bite, and the stored spin becomes one last cushion of lift. The machine settles instead of falling. Run the chain one more time. Blades shaped like wings make lift by spinning. The engine drives them through a transmission that trades speed for force. The collective tilts every blade together to climb or descend. The cyclic tilts them in a rhythm, leaning the disc to move in any direction. The swashplate carries those commands from the still cockpit to the spinning blades. The tail rotor cancels the torque and the pedals steer the nose. And if the engine ever fails, auto-rotation glides the rotor home. An airplane flies by, moving through the air. A helicopter flies by, moving the air itself, grabbing it, shaping it, leaning on it 500 times a minute. Next time one passes overhead, listen to that steady beat. It is the sound of a wing that refuses to stop. That's the Cutaway. Subscribe and we'll slice open something new. See you in the next one.